introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, gently ladies and gentlemen. My name is Victor Hlatshwayo from the Kingdom Swaziland, currently the chairperson in the Committee of Cooperation, International Relations and Conflict Resolution at the Pan-African Parliament.
Thank you, Honorable Hlatshwayo, for joining us this afternoon. As representatives of the people, we assist with issues of safety and protection. In this ongoing workshop of the Pan-African Parliament, you have been discussing on issues of terrorism. What has been the theme of this gathering?
Thank you so much, my sister. I think what is more important to us, especially the Committee on Cooperation and Conflict Resolution, is that we assist with the responsibility to try and work with other organs, including the AU as a legislative body and other organs which are basically fostering the issue of peace in Africa. And there are a number of issues which we basically are on the foreplay currently, but top of the list is the issue of terrorism. You would agree with me that this is one issue that it doesn't even have, boundaries. It doesn't look at the issue of gender. It doesn't look at the age of, it's affecting the young people, it's affecting almost everything. And you could escalate such to even the environment. You could talk about even the animals at large, which means it's affecting human life in its totality. So this kind of workshop that we are having today, it's trying to capacitate members, especially of the committee, and we are looking forward that in the future we would bring on board other committee, including the Committee on Justice, because there are a number of legislative organs and instruments which we as members, we have to be very clear on them, and so that when we go back, you remember that the politicians drawn from the 54 or 53 member states in Africa, we are the direct representative of the people on the ground. So like other stakeholders have said, this issue cannot be an issue that is solved through the use of military. We basically need a very inclusive approach, which is, among other things, to go down on the grassroots level to educate the people, the young people, because if you look very well, the issue of terrorism, it comes with the element of giving them information that is not true from the grassroots level, and at times it's perpetrated to an extent that they are told that the terrorism can be an instrument to answer to the number of challenges which we are facing in Africa, including poverty, including unemployment, including the social imbalance that prevails. So we are saying, if we have the right kind of information as politicians, first of all, we would have to go back to the respective countries. Then we go to parliaments, enact laws that would be relevant. Yes, we've got what we can call a framework from the AU, which basically we come about today in the workshop. So we'll be reflecting on that. Then we harmonize that to our respective countries, because we believe it cannot be an external influence that can bring about harmony in the community, in the region, or in the country. So we have to get, kind of good information that we will take to the people. Remember, Terrorism Act, it's perpetrated by a number of factors. Some of those people who are perpetrating such, they have enough resources because they are pushing their agenda. So yes, they may have the agenda, the resources, but if we have the information, because it's all about the mindset, if we are able to give children, to give people the right information, then they would have what we can call an informed decision on what they would intend to do in the future.
Thank you for that. Are you well-resourced to capacitate the members of parliament to be able to deal with terrorism in their countries?
I think that question, though it's a broad question, but I'll try to segment that question into two dimensions. Maybe the first one would be, when we talk about resources, we talk about the experts in the field. Currently, I believe the kind of expertise that we are having, it's relevant to us. It's African, and it's coming from institutions in Africa. And if you listen attentively to them, and if you analyze the information they are giving us, most of the information, it's first-hand information on what is happening on the ground. Sometimes we have what we can call academic information, which we believe as politicians cannot be relevant at all times. But through this two-day workshop that we have had here, I want to say we have been very grateful from the AU and the AU Commission on the issues of peace and security, that the kind of interaction, it informs you that these people have given themselves adequate time on the ground to solicit that information so that they come and share with us. You would remember that, yes, it's a cut-crossing issue that is affecting the world in its entirety. But there are some parts of Africa where we still, kind of learning about terrorism. It has been directly affected on areas. So AU is saying, before the acts come into foreplay, let the members be capacitated, let the people be capacitated, so that we develop anti-terrorism strategies to make sure that we counter this such. On the second part of the resources, which basically would talk about the financial part, yes, we still have a challenge as PAP. And if the challenge is with the PAP, because we believe if we had enough resources, we would have a number of these workshops, which would basically be beyond the issue of the Committee on Cooperation or the Justice, which basically on another day would love that the whole session on PAP would sit down and be capacitated on these issues, because like we say, it's an issue that affects everybody. On the meetings where we would have our woman caucus, remember today it's a Women's Day, would have loved that our mothers, our daughters have a specific program where we would capacitate them on these issues. And we also wish, as a committee, would partake in the regional workshops, because we want to understand what tools they are using on the regional perspective to counter. We've got the ECOWAS, we've got the Northern Community up there, where countries like Egypt, we have learned that at a given point the issue of terrorism was invading their territory, and as we speak, they've demonstrated that they've kind of had those specific programs which they've used to fight this pandemic.
Thank you, Honorable Hlatshwayo, for joining us this afternoon.
It's my pleasure, and I want to reassure you that we'll always be available, because we want to ensure one Africa, one voice. Thank you so much, ma'am. Oh, okay, sorry. I nearly pulled it out.